Three, two, one.
Welcome everyone as we discuss our topic about Unit 3, Information Sharing and Information Access. These are our topics and my assigned topic would be communication. So what is communication, by the way? So communication is a process by which information is exchanged between individuals through a common systems of symbols, signs, or behavior. Every communication involves at least one sender, a message, and a recipient. This may sound simple, but communication is actually a very complex subject. So there are four basic types of communication, namely verbal communication, written communication, non-verbal communication, and visualization. So verbal communication is defined as communication to express our views, information, and ideas into form of sound and words. Pictures here describes about a verbal communication. As you can see here, the marites ng bayan. That's the verbal communication. So the second one is written communication. It is any written message that two or more people exchanged. So there are three basic parts of communication: the sender, message, and the recipient. So the sender encodes the message or to put into coded form, while the message transmitted in some way, speech or writing, while the recipient decodes it to take out of code, put into understandable language. So these are the examples of written communication: the love letter, email, fax machine, memorandum from the company, bulletin board, the advertisement, and the notes, and many more. Moving on to our third types of communication, that is non-verbal communication. It is the transmission of message or signals through a non-verbal platform such as eye contact, facial expression, gestures, postures, use of body language. It includes the use of social clues, kinesics, distance, and physical environments or appearance of voice and touch, and even our scent. So basically, social cues are eye expression, tone of voice, facial expression, and body language. When it comes to application of this nonverbal communication, what always comes into my mind immediately is when you are communicating to the PWD, the persons with disability, especially the deaf and the mute. This is one of the effectivity of nonverbal communication when it comes to communicating with the deaf and the mute, through or with the help of sign language, body gestures, facial expression, and many more. Finally, the last one, a visualization. So So, visualization is the transmission of information and ideas using symbols and imagery. Visualization is the oldest form of communication. So, visualization or visual communication is the use of visual elements to convey ideas and information which include but are not limited to signs, typography, drawing, graphic design, illustration, industrial design, advertising, animation, and electronic resources. Before, humans have used visual communication since prehistoric times. And now, within modern culture, visual communication uses visual elements. These are the objects, models, graphs, diagram, maps, and photographs. And there are 7 components of visual communication: colors, shape, tones, textures, figures, balance, and hierarchy. Each of these elements and components plays an important role in daily lives. Visual communication holds a specific purpose in aspects such as social media, culture, politics, economics, and science. In considering the different aspects, visual elements present various uses and how they convey information. So visualization for me is something like pictures says it all. Because instead of too much talking or writing to communicate, they illustrate it through pictures. So it allows people to understand each other without having to speak. It can also be used to create a positive first impression. Visual can help build trust and rapport and can be an effective way to stay organized.
Our next topic is all about digital information. Digital information is the data stored on computers and in other digital media. When we say data, it is the recorder in binary numeric form comprising 1 and 0, that also called bits. The most simplistic form of data is binary code. It is represented entirely by a binary system of digits consisting of a string of consecutive zeros and ones. Binary code is often associated with machine code, in that binary sets can be combined to form raw code, which is interpreted by a computer or other piece of hardware. Let me give you an example. In this image, those ones and zeros might not look like anything to you, but in binary code, the numbers are actually saying, I love you. In short, the binary code is responsible for enabling all the documents you create, websites you visit, and even the video games you play, thanks to binary coding. Now, let me explain to you the difference between data and information. Think of data as a raw material that needs to be processed before it can be turned into something useful. Hence, the need for data processing. While information is data that has been processed. It is not enough for data simply to be processed, but it has to be used. That is why digital information generally comprises data that is created by or prepared for electronic systems and devices, such as computers, phones, calculator, communication devices, and so on, and can be stored on those devices or in the cloud. What you're seeing is a concept of digital technology. Here, you can see digital technologies and applications. This is basically concept of marketing. But if you want to see the form of digital information in a different way, somewhere you are getting information, just like in your computer or you are writing an email, when you are in Facebook or other applications searching for something, that explains what digital information is. Now, I'll be sharing with you the major aspects in digital information. First, it's reproducible, or let's say copyable. Unlike a physical book or photograph or analog audio recording, A digital information object can be copied infinitely many times, often without losing any fidelity or quality. Second, it can be easily shared. Because information is easily copied, it is also easy to distribute at low cost. Technologies such as email and websites allow broadcasting to people at the touch of a single button. For example, message posted via social media is reposted elsewhere by friends or an email sent to a list of recipients in a short time frame. Third, it's flexible. A variety of different types of information can be represented digitally in images, movies, text, and sound. Digital information can even be used to control movement in the physical world through digitally controlled actuators. The fourth one, it's easily modified. Digital representations of information can be easily manipulated. It is trivial to modify an image, say, changing hair color from blonde to red, adding a few notes to a musical composition, or deleting and adding text to a document. The last but not the least, digital information is difficult to intercept. Because no physical object is necessarily associated with a digital information object, interdiction of digital information is much more difficult than interdiction of a physical object carrying information.
So, good morning. My topic for today is collection of information. Collection of information, in other word, is data collection. So, data collection is the process of gathering and measuring information on variable of interest in an established systematic fashion that enables one to answer stated research questions, test hypotheses, and evaluate outcome. So, ang data collection is gathered ng impormasyon na kailangan sa isang research and also ma-evaluate mo ang resulta kung tama ba o mali. So, next is data collection method. Techniques and procedures used to gather information for research purposes. These methods can range from simple self-reported surveys to more complex experiments and can involve either quantitative or qualitative approach to data gathering. So, data collection methods is techniques and procedures kung paano ang pag-collect na informasyon na kailangan or gumawa ng survey to a specific group of individual which is makahelp sa imo to have a ideas and to gather more information. So, the information has 6 data collection method. So, the first one is the interview. So, formal meetings between two people, the interviewer and the interviewee, where questions are asked by the interviewer to obtain. So, ang interview is common ito para sa ating lahat to collect information to other people based on their ideas and some of it is based on themselves. Am I right? The next one is observation. Involves collecting information without asking questions. This method is more subjective as it requires the researcher or observer to add their judgment to the data and also can be combined with additional information such as video. So, ang observation is ito ay ang pag-obserba sa mga data na iyong nakuha or nagathered. If tama ba o mali. And also, gumawa ka ng judgment which is makahelp to improve or change something that's not capable on the data that you've been collecting. The third one is document and records. So, sometimes you can collect a considerable amount of data without asking anyone anything. So, ang documents and records. Ito ang mga data na nandyan na, which is hindi mo na kailangan magtanong sa other people because it is provided, or makikita mo na kaagad, hindi mo na kailangan itanong sa iba. The fourth one is focus group. Is a data collection method that involves several individuals who have something in common. So, ang focus group is isang grupo ng individual which is same ideas or thoughts about the data you've gathering, or ito ay pag-focus sa isang grupo ng individual that has a same thoughts on the topic. The fifth one is oral history. The recording, preservation, and interpretation of historical information based on the opinions and personal experience of people who were involved in the event. So, ang oral history ito ay opinion ng individual or people based on their experience on the specific event or place. Kanang history or mga nakaraan na event na nangyari sa kanilang buhay. Noon. The sixth one is questionnaires and survey. Can be analyzed in many different ways and can assign numerical values to the data to speed up the analysis. This can be useful if you're collecting a large amount of data for a large population. So, ang questionnaires and survey, ito ay common sa lahat ng methods. Dahil, it can help us to gather new information to a large group of people or individual, or isang grupo ng individual which is makatabang sa imo to collect or to have ideas on that specific topic. Next. The major importance of data collection methods. Determine the quality and accurate of collected data. Ensure that the data is relevant, valid, and reliable. Help reduce bias and increase the representativeness of the sample. Essential for making informed decision and accurate conclusion. Facilitate achievements of research objectives by providing accurate data. Support the validity and reliability of research findings.
Good morning, everyone. So I am also one of the reporter about the Unit 3, Information Sharing and Information Access. So indexing. Indexing is a data structure method that enables rapid record retrieval from a database file. It also consists of 2 columns. Aside from that, it also indicates exact locations of record. So isa ito sa paraan upang magbigay daan para sa mabilis na pagkuha ng tala mula sa isang file. Aside from that, ipinapahiwatig din ng exact location ng mga talaan. So there are 2 main types of indexing methods: primary indexing and secondary indexing. For the primary indexing is an ordered file which is fixed length size with 2 fields. So the purpose is to have the ability to quickly search to retrieve information. So layunin nito ay magkaroon ng mabilis na pagkuha ng impormasyon. So the secondary indexing is a method whose search key specifies an order different from the sequential order of the file. So the primary index is divided into 2 types: dense index and the sparse index. Dense index is a record created for every search key valued in database. So mao siya ang example. Ang sparse index is a method helps to resolve issues of dense indexing. So ito ay paraan upang malutas ang issue sa index. So, ang clustering index is defined as an order data file. So, mo ni siya ang advantage of indexing. Number 1, offer faster search and retrieval of data to users, and it helps to reduce the total number of input and output operation needed to retrieve the data. So, mapabilis na makahanap ng pagkuha ng data at makatulong din upang mabawasan ang bilang ng input at output na kinakailangan para makuha ang data. So, mo po ni siya ang disadvantage of indexing. Number 1, it cannot perform any other indexes in database on the index data. Number 2, it's not allowed to partition an index organized table contained within scanned documents. So, hindi ito makakagawa ng iba pang index sa database. And aside from that, dili po siya allowed nga hatiin ang nahuman na nga talahayan kung aside kung naka-document na. So, mao na siya ang disadvantage of indexing. So, dito lamang po nagtatapos sa aking report tungkol sa indexing.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Marina Luhinudia, and my topic is about filtering. On how filtering and ICT related. In computer applications, a filter is a program or section of code that's designed to examine each input or output request for certain qualifying criteria and then process or forward it accordingly. So, filter are a system or element used to remove substances such as dust or dirt or electronic signals as they pass through filtering media or devices. Filters are available for filtering air or gases, fluids, as well as electrical and optical phenomena. How important filtering in ICT? Filters are commonly used within web-based applications to narrow the user's list of choices to a more manageable and usable number. For example, a filter can use machine learning or artificial intelligence to remove choices in order to simplify tasks or eliminate inappropriate options. Filtering is what helps us deal the vast amount of information available to us. We try to filter information so that we end up with something that is relevant to us. It helps us learn something. It helps us solve a problem. It helps us develop a new hypothesis about the world around us. So, filtering is important, especially in our everyday life. And filtering is so useful even in our character, because without filter, it is to describe a person who speaks without tact, seems to blurt out their thoughts, or is generally seen as very blunt. The phrase comes from the idea that your mouth says what your brain thinks without consideration to the audience, situation, or time. That's all. Thank you.
Hello everyone. For this unit, my topic is all about linking information and putting it into context. So, what is linking information? Linking information, it is the process of collating information from different sources in order to create a more valuable and helpful data set. When we say collating, it means to gather, collecting, pagkukuha ng mga iba't ibang impormasyon. So linking information, simple means that it is a way of gathering of variety information from magkakaibang aspeto para makabuo ng mas pakipakinabang, maganda at maayos na detalyadong mga impormasyon. Next is what is data link. Data link, it is meant to establish a connection between two devices that need to transfer data between one another. There are three types of data link, which are the simplex, half duplex, and duplex. The first one is the simplex. It is meant for unidirectional communication. When we say unidirectional communication, it means that allowing communication in only one direction at a time. For instance, is the parallel port on a computer, allowing the computer to send data to a printer but not allow the printer to communicate back. The second one is the half duplex. It is allowed bidirectional communication, and bidirectional communication from the word itself bi means double, both, two. Therefore, half duplex means that the data flow both directions but not simultaneously. Ibig sabihin, pareho sila ng direksyon pero hindi sila pwedeng sabay-sabay na magbibigay ng mga impormasyon. Halimbawa nito ay paggamit ng walkie-talkie. And the last one is duplex. Duplex is same as the half duplex, but the difference is that half duplex allows both directions but not simultaneously, while the duplex is allowing the bidirectional connections that can transmit simultaneously. So, ibig sabihin, ang duplex ay nagpapahintulot na maaaring magpadala ang bawat isa ng impormasyon ng sabay-sabay. Halimbawa na lang nito ay ang pagkakaroon ng video conference, audio call, live chat, and iba pa.
Hello, it's me again, Mary Jane Ornilio, and I will be discussing about dissemination. So, what is dissemination? Dissemination is the act or process of disseminating, distributing, spreading, broadcasting, or dispersing widely. So, dissemination came from the Latin verb disseminare, from seminare, which means to sow, and semen, which means seed. So basically, sometimes the dissemination of information is like the scattering of seeds in the field, with the goal being to spread it far and wide to the largest number of people possible, like when someone sends out a company-wide email. So basically, dissemination takes on the theory of the traditional view of communication, which involves a sender and a receiver. So the information is sent out and received, but no reply is given. Ang importante is mabasa sa wide audience o mapaabot sa ilaha ang information nga gi-disseminate. Because the message carrier sends out information, not to one individual, but many in a broadcasting system. So that's the goal of dissemination. So for example of these are fields of advertising. Nandiyan si Jollibee, si yogurt, and the second one is the public announcement. Ayan ang weather forecast. And the third one is the speeches, which is very common in disseminating information. So dissemination can be powerful when adding rhetoric or other forms of persuasiveness to the speech. So a man right here is John Durham Peters, who wrote Communication as Dissemination. He says, making a public offering is perhaps the most basic of all communicative acts. But once the seeds are cast, their harvest is never assured. This means that dissemination of words to multiple people can take on multiple meanings to each individual depending on the experience, the attitude, the knowledge, the race, or even the gender of the listener or the reader. So, dissemination in a simple word is sharing. So for example, if this is we as a student, if the school has an announcement, we disseminate it through our group chats. So in that way, we are disseminating information in order to our classmates to know the information. So that is one of the example of dissemination. So when it comes to dissemination of information, there has to be things to be considered. Whatever information you are disseminating, it has to be fact checked. With the help of communication channels nowadays, it is very easy now to disseminate information anytime and anywhere.
Good day everyone. My topic is all about usage of created knowledge. How ICT can be used for creating knowledge. ICT can be used to capture knowledge, categorize, search, subscribe relevant content or information, and present it in more meaningful formats across multiple contexts of use. IT can be used to convert tacit knowledge into an explicit form. An example of new knowledge creating knowledge is a patent disclosure process. When an idea for a new invention is shared with others within an organization, it can lead to helpful suggestions, improvements, colleagues who can act as a sounding board for testing assumptions and referrals to others doing similar work. What information is used for creating knowledge? Knowledge is created through practice, collaboration, interaction, and education as the different knowledge types are shared and converted. Beyond this, knowledge creation is also supported by relevant information and data which can improve decisions and serve as building blocks in the creation of new knowledge. These are the types of knowledge creation. They are socialization, externalization, combination, and internalization. What are the benefits of knowledge creation? New knowledge develops better routines that make operations more efficient and effective. As organizations learn from newly generated knowledge, not only do they improve existing processes, but dynamic capabilities also develop to integrate knowledge into creative ideas, novel solutions, and new products and services. Ang knowledge creation mahimo pinaagi sa pakigkulab, interact, pagtudlo, inubanan sa paggamit sa bagong data, ideya aron ma-improve ug mag-serve og building blocks sa creation of new knowledge. The role of ICTs in knowledge management for organizational effectiveness. Knowledge management, or KM, has become the key factor for the success of all organizations. ICTs are technologies which facilitate the management to share knowledge and information. The value of knowledge management is more when made available to the right people at the right time. Thus, knowledge sharing is facilitated through information and communication technologies, including computers, telephones, email, databases, data mining systems, search engines, video conferencing equipment, and many more. Nowadays, mauna gyud ni siya atong ginagamit bisan asa sa school, even churches, sa mga trabaho aron mas mapadali ug mapapaspas ang mga trabaho. Ang ICT mao ang technology nga ga-facilitate aron sa pag-share sa knowledge and information pinaagi sa computers, telephones, emails, and so on. That would be all. Thank you.
Good day everyone. For today's video, I'll be talking about the integration of ICT in education and in business. Information and Communication Technology, or the ICT. Information Communication Technology is advancement that had completely changed how people think, work, and live in our society. As a result, schools, other educational institutions that are tasked with preparing students for the future also experiencing this transformation to function in a knowledge society. They must take into account ICT integration in the classroom. Teachers are viewed as the essential player in implementing ICT in their regular classroom, setting and training pupils for contemporary digital environment. ICT integration in education. ICT integration as the process of determining where and how technology fits in the teaching and learning scenario. It is able for everyone can enter the website from everywhere at any time to use the free information by the internet. Worldwide research has shown that ICT can lead to improved students' learning as well as better pedagogical practices. The aim of ICT integration is to improve and increase the quality, accessibility, and cost efficiency of the delivery instruction to students. It also refers to the benefits from networking the learning communities to face challenges of current globalization. The advantages of ICT. ICT is changing the world at a rapid pace. Knowledge, communication, collaboration method, information, entertainment are being revolutionized every day. What role does ICT play in the classroom? What is the impact of ICT in education? Traditional teaching methods look like this. ICT in education can be very positive by using it smartly. Because of ICT, we can easily do our research, paperwork, project, and assignment, and etc. Through ICT, image can easily be used in teaching and improving the retentive memory of students. Through ICT, teacher can easily explain complex instruction and ensure in students' comprehensions. Through ICT, teachers are able to create interactive classes and make the lessons more enjoyable, which could improve student attendance and concentrations. Enriches learning through a combination of audio, video, images, text, and animation. ICT enhances learning process, learning environment, the quality and accessibility of education, and the learning motivation. ICT integration in business, better productivity and efficiency. Integrated technologies allow you to organize and share your business data across departments, drastically saving the time and energy needed to look up and verify information. Syncing your system and sharing the same database means there's no need to re-enter data manually every time, minimizing the window for error. ICT takes a big important role in our daily life, which lead into evolving of ourselves and community. ICT create a positive and negative impact in our daily life. ICT create to make our life easier, but also we live the special experiences in our life. When we use ICT as a medium, always remember to use your etiquette for it. I want to use ICT as a medium that help me to gather information and communication, but I don't want ICT take the whole part of my life when I use it. Be wiser if you use ICT in your daily lives. And that's all. Thank you.